Varg Vikernes is one of the most controversial figures in extreme metal history. Known primarily for his one-man project Burzum, his name is inseparable from music, crime, ideology, and myth. To some listeners, he represents artistic minimalism taken to its furthest limit. To others, he symbolizes how underground scenes can collapse into violence and extremism. Understanding Vikernes requires separating the sound he created from the actions and ideas that followed him. In the early 1990s, Norway's black metal scene emerged as a reaction against polished metal and mainstream culture. Bands sought raw sound, anonymity, and confrontation, often using anti-Christian imagery as provocation. The scene was small but intense, built on ideology, rivalry, and a desire to shock. Within this volatile environment, boundaries between music, belief, and real-world action became increasingly blurred. Vikernes founded Burzum in 1991 and quickly stood out for his stripped-down approach. His music rejected technical complexity in favor of repetitive riffs, lo-fi recording, and hypnotic atmosphere. However, his involvement in church burnings and the 1993 murder of Oystein Euronymous Arseth pushed the scene into global attention. Black metal was no longer just underground music. It became associated with crime and fear. Musically, Burzum challenged traditional metal structures. Songs often revolved around a single riff repeated for minutes, creating a trance-like effect. Drums and vocals were raw and distant, while melody emerged through texture rather than precision. Later, Vikernes abandoned guitars almost entirely, producing ambient music based on simple synthesizers. These releases emphasized isolation, atmosphere, and introspection over aggression. Quick pause, this part is short, but before we continue, if you're enjoying this video, make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel. It really helps support the time and effort that goes into creating these metal videos. All right, let's continue. At this point in the story, the influence of Burzum became unavoidable. Vikernes' work shaped black metal aesthetics, corpse paint, lo-fi production, solitary creation, and rejection of modernity. Entire subgenres, from atmospheric black metal to dungeon synth, drew inspiration from these ideas. At the same time, his criminal actions forced the scene to confront its limits and responsibilities. Beyond music, Vikernes became increasingly known for promoting extremist and racial ideologies. These views led to bans from platforms, public condemnation, and widespread rejection within the metal community. Many artists and fans argue that influence does not imply approval and actively distance themselves from his legacy. His case intensified the long-standing debate about whether art can be separated from its creator. Despite controversy, Burzum remains influential due to its technical simplicity. Many albums were recorded with minimal equipment, sometimes in single takes. Artwork often avoided band photos, instead focusing on landscapes, mythology, and solitude. While imprisoned, Vikernes continued composing music using basic keyboards, reinforcing the image of isolation that surrounded his work and persona. Varg Vikernes ultimately represents a collision between artistic expression and real-world consequences. His story is not one of triumph, but of how creativity, ideology, and ego can spiral into destruction. Studying his impact offers a cautionary lesson. Art can be influential without being admirable, and legacy is shaped not only by what is created, but by the actions that accompany it. Lastly, I want to know, what's your favorite Burzum album? My personal favorite, ask. However, Philosophum is actually really good, like if you want a video about them. And that's it for today. If you enjoyed this short journey through metal, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. By doing so, you directly support the research and work behind these videos. Thanks for watching. See you in the next chapter.